Welcome back to the show. I'm joined now by a good friend of mine who's been here before, has a couple of projects out we're going to be talking about, but I'll just introduce him as Jude Abaga because he goes by a different name now.
Yes, the guy. And I want you to please, I think it's just right that when the guest comes here, you address them. Yeah, I mean, you address all your guests by
So you're starting the show by
can you
shading
call
me.
Just my name, please.
Please welcome the guy.
Lovely.
On the
That's
show.
all I want. Well, I changed my name to get a clip of you, to get a clip of you calling me the guy.
What informed that?
You know, my album is really about, or it was recorded during a period of being more comfortable being myself. I think as you grow up, you shed the parts of you that are not really useful, and it's just a statement about the fact that we should all be comfortable being, you know, like the guy you are, the guy behind MI, whoever that person is. You know?
But did you have to change your name to do that?
You know the funniest thing, I'm going to be honest with you, because, and if we can make this post go viral, it's, you know how I do things sort of tongue in cheek. I'm like, yo, I'm changing my name, the guy, and now it's sort of out there. But because of the album and because of the statement we're trying to make, when we put out visuals, people will see, I'm letting it happen. But the name MI is not going anywhere. It's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a brand that's become so solid, not just in Nigeria, across the continent, even globally. So I was just wondering how that re-engineering was going to work with you saying, okay, don't call me this anymore. I mean, we've had Kanye say we should start calling him Ye, but we'll still call him Kanye.
Yeah.
You know, Snoop tried it, so I thought that was going to be tough. Yeah. But anyway, this new project, man, how long since the last one?
It's a difficult question for me to answer because I do small projects here and there. But I would say since the last time that I sat down to make an album, put the features, put it out for like commercial purposes, I would say maybe 2015, since the Chairman album.
Yeah.
I did do Rendezvous, the Judah EP, the live reports. There are a few projects I've done in between, but this is the first, like, okay, let me put out an album. You know?
That's what I thought. We'll take a break now and we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Get with you. Don't just stand there teasing me. Now it's time to show it through.
So how tough is it now? Nigerian music is wild at the moment. A lot of us kind of saw it coming, but it also happened a lot quicker than I guess maybe someone like me thought.
Yeah.
What's happening internationally and even locally with the number of artists who seem to pop up like every week at this point. What does that do to someone like you who's been in the game for so long? Yeah. Is there pressure? Is there inspiration you draw from what's happening now?
I think every artist feels everything all the time. And maybe for artists that are paying attention and listening, you know, I would say that I think we're all feeling the same thing all the time as an artist.
Because I feel pressure and I'm not even an artist, I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what are you going to do next year? And then next year, and then next year, and then next year. And I think that that's part of the journey. I think that also the reason why it's important for artists in our context to keep working on their craft and improving is because our industry is still growing. And so what that means is that for every single artist, your catalog's value today hasn't reached its full potential because that market is still expanding. You haven't reached all the audiences you could reach because that audience is still expanding. You know, there are going to be people that are around the world that are going to want to listen to like old high life, Nigerian high life. You know, I'm going to want to see those artists perform. You look at like Seun Kuti, Made Kuti, Femi Kuti have been touring globally for decades, taking a path that Yemi Alade has taken. So I really, truly believe that it's an amazing time for African creatives, for Nigerian creatives and musicians. Yeah.
What are you doing differently though this time, if anything? I mean, not that you have to, but we've seen people try to re-engineer, sort of retweak, you know, their style. We've seen people like Wizkid who've transitioned to different things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about hip hop being dead in Nigeria. Yeah. Are you still going to stick with it? What's happening with this new guy, the guy?
I'll be honest with you, the guy has always just been about music. If you listen to my album, you know, I am a rapper, and I think that's always going to be my mode of communicating. It's the tool that we have. You're trying to make a point, and everybody has a tool. Some people have melody, some people have an amazing voice. My gift is to be able to see words and arrange them in a way that people can hear something and think about it, you know, in a new way. But I would tell you that the sound now is amazing. Like I think it just keeps getting better. I mean, 2 years ago, I was listening to Mona Lisa and Peru.
Okay.
When they were, last year when they came out, and I was just listening to the sonic, like the pieces and how the music came together. I'm like, man, music is getting better, and I think as a rapper, it gives you more freedom to do more things because as long as you can lean into music and you're not intimidated to work with different people, the sky's the limit.
I want to ask the typical question: is hip hop dead? But I want to say, isn't hip hop dead? Because I feel like that's a different kind of question. Because even Drake just released an album and everybody accused him of singing almost
Drake.
Drake, you know. Yeah. So it's not just a local thing now. Even internationally, it looks like everybody's sort of gravitating towards a different sort of style.
Yeah. So I mean, how would we define something as being dead? If a genre was dead, like is reggae dead? Is reggae dead? Would you?
Not dead.
Okay, so by that regard, we can clearly say hip hop is clearly not dead. If we're arguing about like reggae, because hip hop has J. Cole, Kanye West, Kanye and Drake last year had two of the biggest albums of the year, the Migos. You can spread out, you can just zone in on even just a type of hip hop. If you just say, I just want to hear like people that just rap, or rap in a 90s style, or rap with a certain sound, you can find great artists making music today. Yeah. I think what's happening is that the pop sound and the spine of what's driving music was hip hop for such a long time. And as it sort of like morphs, I think that there's a moment where it's starting to be like this new amalgamation of different sounds. And while we're in that period, a lot of people are feeling the pressure on hip hop. But I think
what about in Nigeria?
Nas put out hip hop. I mean, but look at like, how do we say dead? Is Show Them Camp, Ladipo, Files the Bad Guy. Like, it seems like you go look at the charts, you look at like who's touring, you look at the big artists, people that are getting endorsements. Hip hop is alive. You know, I don't think it's ever been the mainstream music in Nigeria. I think that's at some moments the fire was brighter. You know, I think early Chuck Boy era, it just seemed like, oh, there's so many, so many rappers. Yeah. But I think it's sort of been and stayed steady. That's what it is.
Yeah. I want to talk about social media MI, who seems to be quite controversial sometimes, more often than not, actually. Do you enjoy that? Is this something you intentionally just sort of put out once in a while? Because I've seen you go back and forth quite a bit on social media. Yeah. Do you do it for fun? Do things actually get to you?
You know, so let me start from the last part of the question. Do things get to me? I don't think maybe in the way that people would think. Like, I don't care about people talking about me. You know, that doesn't, like, making fun of me or whatever, that doesn't bother me. Sometimes you'll genuinely make a mistake which sparked the moment. And that, I think back to one time that I had made a joke and the joke was broadcast later, and so the fact that I know that somebody could have been offended, but I think with social media you have to realize that that's what social media is. Do you understand? It works because people feel free to express themselves. And what do you think people would say? People's minds, there's a lot of envy, there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of trauma. You give them a place where they can say it smartly. You have to be aware of that. So I will say that I do take time away from social media as well. Outside, people pay attention to this, ladies and gentlemen. Outside of the fact that it can be toxic and bad for your mental health, social media itself takes up so much of our time in a day and affects our attention, our ability to focus on tasks. So this is a very important thing. If you are at work and you're trying to get better, you're studying for an exam or whatever, you have to understand that social media itself, it hijacks your dopamine processes in your brain and stops you from being able to pay attention properly. And so it's something you should manage with care, Yeah.
The recross situation.
News from the guy. look. The guy came through, just...
And dropped some gems.
Wow, dropping gems, bro.
The recross situation was quite interesting.
You know the funniest thing about it? I wasn't even on social media, so I don't even know...
So how did you get roped into it?
What was the sentiment? I think I tweeted,
Yeah, there was this talk about, Rick Ross came, certain rappers were not highlighted, and it looked like he took offense to the fact that, or something along those lines, why weren't rappers on stage or something, or invited? Yeah. I don't know that you made the statement, but it looks like you kind of agreed with the sentiment.
I tweeted about it.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me say my perspective, because this is a good question. So first of all, I got invited by an agency that I really, really respect. I really, really respect them. And I think I messaged them back and I said, hey, I wouldn't want to come for dinner, but if Rick Ross is in town, I would love to meet him personally, This is just my, somebody asked me to do something. I'm like, oh, no. Rick Ross is in town. Oh, he should want to meet MI. He's like, this is the guy here. Do you know what I mean? You guys should have dinner. You know what I mean? He should be dope. Like, if I go to Miami, and I know someone that knows him, well, let me go to his house and hang out, The event happened. Then I find out that there are no rappers. I think that's what sparked it. There were no rappers on the lineup, right? And so it goes into a craze. People are talking about it. I'm not on social media. This is very important for people to remember. The guy spends his time not on social media, guys. So I come on social media and I see people are talking crazy about it, or rappers were disrespected and blah, blah, blah. And I think my tweet was something to the effect of saying, look, I got invited to go, and I asked to meet with Rick Ross one-on-one, and it didn't happen. And I was like, and my perspective is that we have to understand that the game of entertainment is what it is, and that until hip-hop starts to demand that sort of respect in terms of the dollar amount and naira amount, you're not going to get treated that way. Like, look at me. I asked to meet, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's in the context of Nigeria, people would think it's crazy, but is it crazy for, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's supposed to happen. You're a rapper in town, you're a great rapper, you should meet another great, you guys should chop it up, spend the evening together, So, and I don't even know what the sentiment about it. I don't even know. I knew people were upset about it, but I wasn't following, so I don't know if people were like, why would MI want to be with Rick Ross alone, or I don't, people get upset about
everything,
what's happening to them. Do you understand? So, but I mean, in retrospect, I think the truth about it is that as an artist, you're not in control of everything, but what you're in control of is the music you make and the effort you put in. And if we, as a hip-hop community, make great music and we put in the effort, that's the validation we need.
Yeah.
That's the statement I was trying to make,
Speaking of Rick Ross and, all of that, international collaborations have become quite a thing now.
Yeah.
People don't even get too excited anymore. They're like, oh, okay, so Drake was on that song. Oh, Thames is a Beyonce.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it something you think is important for you at this stage?
Yeah, I mean, as music globalizes, you want to break new boundaries. And that's, making new friends, making music with dope artists from around the world is really, really important. And I look forward to it. People that are fans of my music from early on, when I used to make mixtapes, would know that I used to incorporate other people's music into the mixtapes. And now, basically, I have the opportunity to do that in real life with real artists, So yeah, of course, I would love to. For me, I'm going to be honest with you, I just don't rate it higher than, you know what I mean? Like, you're international, okay, hey. And today, that relationship has changed significantly. But early on, it was completely square me money, I go send you MP3. And I don't think I functioned very well in that period. Again, it's like the thing with Rick Ross is like, you're a human being, I'm a human being, we want to make music together. And
would you want to do music with him?
With who, Rick Ross? Of course, yeah, the boss, wow, of course, yeah. He's a dope rapper, love his sound, love the energy he has, you know what I mean? And I mean, if we were to make a song and I had to work on that beat, you know what I mean? It would be crazy, you know what I mean? Rick Ross, holla, reach out. You know what I mean?
Let's go a little personal now. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
You put out the pictures that broke the internet.
You said time is... time. Are we running out of time?
There's a lot of time. You put out these pictures that broke the internet. You're engaged. Quite interesting. I didn't know I would see the day, personally. But anything you want to say on that? Because people were... With the sort of career you have, not just with music. As a hip hop artist, as a rapper, people don't necessarily associate, mushiness and falling in love with that.
Yeah.
Did you ever worry, this is off-brand for me?
Yeah. So thank you for thank you for your kind words. Yes, I am engaged. I'm very lucky. We met maybe about 18 months ago, and just became friends, and it was just the right time,
Yeah.
And when I put out the video, I honestly thought, like on my birthday, my 40th birthday, I put out a video, and people say happy birthday, and then the next day we move on. Do you know what I mean? So,
So you thought that was what was going to
in
happen?
my head, I'm like, nobody cares. Like I don't really put out my personal life to people. Nobody really cares. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna put out the video. People are gonna say congratulations in the comments. Tomorrow morning we keep it moving. Then it was just, man. I had conversations with my label. I had conversations with there was so many implications of that one moment.
Yep.
And I think before that there had been a couple articles about her, and I think I wanted to put out the videos just so that people would hear from me first, as opposed to.
Does it change the dynamics of how you work now, approach your career? Because, you tour, for example. People always wonder, when you're out there on the road for so long, does it change the dynamic for you on how you approach your career going forward? Good or bad?
Yeah, I hope so in good ways. I hope that I'm able to be more choosy about the things I give my time to. Annie's very supportive, very, very supportive.
Oh, she said Annie.
She's like, we shot a video on Sunday, and she's just got back into town, and she was there at the video shoot, and she's very, very supportive. She rides hard for me. So, and then, you would be able to tell me better than I would, but I think you get into this relationship, and then you sort of figure it out as you go along. And so I'm open to that, because part of the important thing is that she's also accomplished so much and done so much with her own life, and I want to be able to support her, in whatever way. I know right now she's in between things, but from what I can see, the next thing she wants to do is really something really massive. And, I want to be able to, like, hey,
I got you.
Yeah, I got you as well.
Awesome stuff, man. Well done. Very quickly now before we go, just details on album, where to listen, where to find it, and all of that.
So my album comes out on August 19th. It's called The Guy. I don't know if I should leak all my collabs.
Drop it. Drop what you can.
I have Nas on it. I have Wande Cole on it.
Wait.
I have.
You have Nas.
I have Nas on it. I have Wande Cole. I have Bado. I have Benson. I have Caveman. I got Fino, Duncan Mighty, Jags, Ice Prince, Toby Owo. It's an MI album, guys.
How many songs are?
I don't know what to say. You guys remember when MI used to put out albums? It's an MI album.
I think I'm actually already sold.
the guy's here. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful music. I'm really, really excited about it. I also share a lot about the platform I'm creating called Task. And when we started, we were doing a little bit of agency work. But right now, what I've decided, and with the board and the team, is that we're going to use our platform to amplify other creatives. It's what I've always been doing my whole life. I didn't really talk about it, early on. I was just focused on my career.
You're so annoying.
But when you think of great A&Rs in the industry, you have to think of MI too, because for that arena, he's really a chairman. So if we're gonna, but Task, you guys should check out Task. If you're a young creative, you're out there, we're building a platform, an ecosystem where young creatives can have an easier life. We want you to get the resources, the information you need, because it's not easy to be a creative. We're talking about pressure even in this interview. So yeah, that's all my things I think I've spoken about. The Guy coming soon, Task, getting married January 2024.
Don't mind him. Thanks a lot, everybody. Good luck with everything. Looking forward to the album. I'm actually looking forward to the album because we've missed you and we can't wait to hear what it sounds like now. And congratulations.
Thank you, man.
We'll take a break now and we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Get with you. Don't just stand there.